What's going on, y'all? It's Derek J407, aka Best Heel Ever, and I'm here once again to give you my review of Lucha Underground. It is episode 4 this week. This week, another great show. The show kicked off backstage in what was once Dario Cueto's office, but ever since Mil Muertes and Katrina took over, it is now Katrina's office. She was sitting at her desk. In through the door came Ivelisse. She came in still pissed off about what happened to her a few weeks ago at the hands of Mil Muertes, but she still says that she wants to be the champion, the trios champion. She wants her, Angelico, and Son of Havoc to get a title match, will get their rematch for the trios tag team titles. And then Katrina informs her that there are no automatic rematches in Lucha Underground, which, thank you for that, because there should not be. I don't know why automatic rematches are a thing at all. WWE, the whole rematch clause thing that WWE has, I'm glad Lucha Underground at least, points that out. Like, there are no automatic rematch. There are no automatic rematches. You have to earn your rematch, and that's what she told Ivelisse here. She said that her, Son of Havoc, and Angelico are going to have to face off against another trio tonight to see if they deserve that shot. And then Ivelisse informed her that her and her team will beat them, they'll win their trios titles back, and then eventually she's going to get her hands on Katrina and she will show her no mercy. So then, first match of the night, of course, Ivelisse, Angelico, and Son of Havoc take on this trio that Katrina was talking about, which turned out to be Chavo Guerrero and the Crew, that being Cortez Castro and, damn it, I forgot the other guy's name. Cortez Castro and the other one. I forgot his name. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on it, but yeah, I completely forgot his name. It's not like it really mattered here. This was a good match, a good 6-person tag team match here. In the end, the babyfaces win. Ivelisse, Angelico, and Son of Havoc, they win. After the match, Chavo is berating Castro and the other guy. It's not Bale, because Bale got eaten by Matanza. Damn it, I forgot his name. And they said it. I completely forgot. They're so forgettable as a team. Except for Castro. I know him a lot more now after that little reveal last week. But, yeah. Oh, well. Anyway, after the match, Chavo is talking to him, kind of arguing with him. And then, out of nowhere, Tejano makes his return. He has his bull rope. He goes after him. He hits the Crew, but he didn't get his hands on Chavo. Chavo managed to escape. So, Tejano's back, and he's coming for Chavo's ass. So, that's something to look forward to and coming up in the near future. Up next, we had a Johnny Mundo vignette. He was stating some facts. So, he was stealing Tyson Kidd's gimmick here. But he was stating facts, talking about fact that he is like basically, he's the best in Lucha Underground and he belongs in the main event and all that kind of stuff, and he deserves a shot at the Lucha Underground Championship. And he referenced Cage, who came out and interrupted him a few weeks ago, and he talks about how Cage is not on his level and all that stuff. So, good little Johnny Mundo vignette, just building himself up, pretty much, is all it was. Then we went backstage in the locker room. Castro, he's nursing his shoulder, got an ice pack and all that kind of stuff. And then in comes Joey Ryan, who we found out last week is an undercover police officer, along with Castro. His name is actually Officer Reyes. So, they were talking here. Basically, Joey Ryan told him, we're supposed to, come off as luchadors, and you suck at it. So, yeah, but then he told him, like, if you want to see real wrestling, then you can watch me in my debut coming up next, and I'll show you what real wrestling is. So we go to the ring. It's Joey Ryan making his debut against, they call him Cage. Who are they? I don't know. The people in the temple, now that he's a big baby face, they call him Cage. They also call him a machine. Well, he calls himself a machine, but they, stayed along with him. But anyway, this was a better match than I thought it would be. Usually, you look at a guy like Joey Ryan up against Cage, and on this show, it would be probably some little squash match just to get over Cage and just dispose of him. But, it was back and forth for a little bit. Joey Ryan, if you've seen him in TNA, he's still basically that same character, all hairy, got the baby oil and shit. Even in his entrance, he was pouring the baby oil on him, poured it down his trunks and all that kind of stuff. Sleazy as always, but he is a damn good wrestler. He and Cage went back and forth, but in the end, Cage hit him with his driver, almost brainbuster-like move. So yeah, basically, that was it. Cage won. He was posing. I think he was even facing Mil Muertes, who was still sitting on his throne up in one of the balconies in the temple. So Cage was facing him, and then behind him came Johnny Mundo, who came from behind and gave him a spear, stealing Mil Muertes' move, I guess. And he started to beat him down, and he was about to take care of him, but didn't last. Cage came back, started to fight back, hit him with his finishing move. I sound like Michael Cole. I can't name these moves. I forgot what it's his finishing, his overcomplicated finishing move, where you got to stack him up from behind and do him back. It's not a flatliner. Is it? Does he call it a flatliner? It's something. Yeah, I sound like Michael Cole and the main roster, and every announcer except for Mauro Ranallo in WWE, who just says stuff looks intimidating and brutal, but they don't know what the fuck the actual name of the move is. The only guy who knows the names of the moves is Mauro Ranallo, and he's stuck on SmackDown for no one to really hear him. But oh well, that's a problem that needs to be fixed. Then we had a segment where Rey Mysterio was training Dragon Azteca Jr. Rey was telling him, like, you can't return to the temple with revenge and all that kind of stuff. And then he was going to the backstory of Dario Cueto and all the old legends and the 7 gods of something or whatever. And Dario got greedy and all that kind of stuff. So now he's just out there. But Ray told him you can't go after him for revenge, and he told him that. But what's gonna happen? And then this got me thinking, like, man, Dario Cueto, he ain't even on the show every week. Like, he was only on, like, since this season started, he's only been on the show once, and everybody's after him. You got Castro and Joey Ryan, they're police officers being ordered to take him down. Dragon Azteca Jr., he's not going after him yet right away, but he eventually will. Just like with Mil Muertes, everybody's going after him. You got Johnny Mundo and Cage. Phoenix is still on him. Pentagon and Prince Puma, everybody after him. So Mil Muertes and Dario Cueto are the real targets of this show, and neither one of them are wrestling. Neither one of them are wrestling. And in Dario Cueto's case, he ain't even on the damn show. Mil Muertes is on the show, but he's sitting up on his balcony pretty much. So the 2 main focal points of this show are basically inactive. So whatever. At least it gives everybody else something to do. So then we got to the main event. This show just goes by so quickly, so smoothly. I love it. The main event was the first ever encounter between Prince Puma and Pentagon Jr., my 2 favorites in Lucha Underground. This match was basically what I expected it to be. A damn good match. Best match of the night, easily. Probably my favorite match of the entire week. But, it doesn't really go up against much. Especially considering the fact that I didn't really watch much wrestling this week. But still, it was a damn good match. I enjoyed it. like I said, back and forth. Some good near falls in there. A lot of super kicks and flips and that kind of stuff. The finish was interesting. I guess it was made to make them both look strong. But, so what happened was Pentagon got Puma in like a surfboard kind of submission, grabbing his legs and got his arms. But then he let go of his arms and he, put his hands on Puma's face. So now he's wrenching back. But then Puma kind of positions himself backwards. So now his shoulders are on the mat and Pentagon's shoulders are on the mat. So both of their shoulders are on the mat. The referee starts to count them both down, but at the very last second, Puma lifts his head up, which lifts his shoulders up, and he's able, at the very last second, like on 2, he's able to get his shoulder up. Pumas were still down, so Pentagons were still down, so Puma gets the victory. Pentagon, he's reacting like he won, he's raising his arms and that kind of stuff, but Puma, the referee, awarded him the victory. Then Pentagon super kicked the referee, Marty Elias, and then he was about to go after Puma, and then Puma hit him with like a side kick, and he teased, he got him in a position, and he teased breaking Pentagon's arm, did Puma. He got him in that same position that we've seen Pentagon get so many other guys in, and it looked like he was about to break it. But then he threw it back, and he did the little no signal, and it's just a tease, but he didn't do it. The crowd kind of booed, but then they started to chant Lucha and all that kind of stuff, and they were into it. Or I think that's what they were chanting. But yeah, I thought it was cool. I almost had a heart attack for a minute there. I'm like, don't you dare break Pentagon Jr.'s arm. I'm not trying to get him out of the way too. It's bad enough Mil Muertes ain't wrestling right now because he's selling a broken arm. But it's still badass seeing him sit up in his little tower though, but still. Luckily they didn't do that, so good job there. So like Lucha Underground don't really end after the match. They cut to something else. This time they cut in the hallways, and we see Sexy Star. She's running. She's scared as fuck. She keep looking back, and she's just running and trying to get away from whatever is chasing her. And finally she runs into the Mac. He tells her to calm down, all that kind of stuff, and he's like, "Who did this to you?" And then she's all scared, but she whispers out, "It was Moth." And he was like, "Well, I'll kill him." But then she would tell him like, "No, not him." And she says her, and she pointed off camera, and get a shot of Mac looking to where she's pointing, like he's looking forward, not right into the camera, but he's looking past the camera. You never see who he's looking at, but he looks kind of scared too. So I can only imagine who Marty the Moth's sister is that fucked up Sexy Star so much. So we'll see this concluded eventually. I don't even know if they're gonna do it next week, but I'm anxious to see it. Just like I was anxious to see Matanza when they were building him up for all throughout the whole season, last season, and we still haven't fully seen him. We've seen his eyes, but we haven't fully seen him. But so yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing who Marty the Moth's sister is, and that's it for this week's Lucha Underground. It was another great show. Another week goes by, another great show. Storylines are further progressing, and nice little cliffhanger, 2 weeks in a row. So yeah, I'm enjoying reviewing this show. I'm enjoying watching this show. So that's about it for Lucha Underground this week. I will be back next week to give you my review of episode 5. But until then, I will see you guys later.